Hi, welcome or welcome back to Books and Bocadillos. My name is Maria Andrea, and this is a week in review video. So, thank you to a whole bunch of new subscribers who joined my community here on BookTube. And if you are new here, thank you. And if you've been here a while, thank you. Thank you to everyone who takes the time to watch my videos. I consider y'all friends. And so this is what this kind of video is. It's just like a friendly catch up about what I'm reading, what I stopped reading, how my reading life is going, what my reading rhythms are, and just kind of just a general catch up. It wouldn't be a week in review video if I didn't talk about the weather. So it's still pretty hot down here in South Texas, highs in the 90s. It's nighttime, so right now it's probably maybe 80 something degrees, but it's been still pretty hot. I am drinking hibiscus tea, Jamaican. It's really good. And I usually start these videos out with highs and lows. So a high. Last weekend was really a great high. It was a wonderful weekend with like friends and community and family. So we had one of our nieces come and stay with us. My nonprofit had an event, and we did an event where we went to a big event to raise awareness about pediatric cancer. And we made puppets with kids, and there was a big old party. There was music, like it was really fun music. It made you feel like you were at a big party or quinceañera. There were people dancing, there were games, there's a lot of families. It's just really, really fun, really wholesome and fun. And I had a great time. It was fun. I loved it. And then there was the Friday, that was Saturday. Friday, I had book club, and I'll talk about that because that's kind of a bit of like my low. It was a good book club, but it's also kind of a little bit of a low. And Sunday, I had supper club with my friend. She made vegan pozole, and I made vegan tacos. It was Mexican Independence Day last week. So our supper club was a Mexican feast with all of the just must-have party foods. My mouth is salivating because that pozole was so good. The tacos are my favorite. Tacos, like I've shared this recipe. I love these tacos. They're cabbage and cauliflower. They're so good. So it was just so good. And what else? My friend made horchata. I made dessert, and I'm going to share this dessert for my recipe at the end of the video. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Now for lows. The low is, have you ever shown up to book club and you show up and you think you're feeling good, and then you realize you read the wrong book? That's what happened to me last Friday. I showed up to book club and I was reading the wrong book. I say I was reading because I was listening to the audiobook. And I have the book in physical form, so I think I had it in physical form, but because I procrastinated, and of course I waited till the week of the book club to try to get this book read, I ended up reading the wrong book. So I showed up and I said, oh, there are people that were just about to finish. We were giving them a little bit of time. They were like trying to get through the last pages of the book, and they were in the back. So I wasn't looking at what book that they were reading the book. My friend who owns the bookstore said, oh, we're just going to wait a couple more minutes. There's people who are still trying to finish. And I said, oh, it's okay. I have about an hour left in the audiobook, and I left my physical copy at home, but I'm okay with spoilers. And my friend asked me, well, what chapter are you on? And I was like, well, I don't know. I'm listening to the audiobook, but I'm at the part where so and so and so and so hook up. And she was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, so and so hooked up with so and so. I'm saying it like you've read the book, right? So it's not a spoiler. Like, and I'm telling people, like, I'm okay with spoilers. Everybody around me has read the book. So she's like, what book are you reading? I was like, I'm reading blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, that next month's book pick. Today we're discussing this one. And I was like, I had no idea. I totally missed a month of communication. Like, and she was like, you voted for the book. And I was like, yeah, I voted, but I never paid for it. I didn't come pick it up, obviously. Like, I maybe voted for it, forgot I voted for it, didn't even realize that it had won. And then the next thing I know, I'm voting for another book. And I actually was excited about this book that had just read, not realizing that it was for October. I thought it was a September book. So I had ordered it, picked it up, thought like, okay, I have like 2-3 weeks to read it, and waited till the last week to read it, and showed up and I read the wrong book. But then I was like, I like dropped all the other stuff I was reading to prioritize this book, and then realized that this book isn't due for another month. So anyway, the people at the book club were like, oh, well, we know what kind of month you've had. It's like, yeah, I guess you know what kind of month I've had. But anyway, that's what happened. At least now I have next month's book read, and I don't have to worry about getting it read anymore. It's done. I actually did already finish the book, and I cannot tell you more about it, but I will talk about it after my book club meets in October. So, with that said, community posts. I haven't really posted much on my booktube channel. So in terms of community posts, I have not posted tags. I did the windows and mirror tag. I was tagged by Pat, my friend Pat at Book Chat with Pat. She created this windows and mirror tag, and it's about some books are meant to be windows and some books are meant to be mirrors. And I got to share a little bit about books that I might consider mirrors and windows, and then it also has some shout outs to some booktube channels who are that for me, right? Like book mirrors and windows. So that was really fun. I didn't expect to get emotional. I was really like feeling it when I was recording that video, and just really touched by just the people on booktube and people I call friends here on booktube. And I love the community here, and my love for the community I hope showed in that video. So yep, that was the tag. I don't think I did any other tags since. It's been kind of a busy month. September has been busy. So books that I read. Okay. I read Lois the Witch by Elizabeth Gaskell. This is the book that I buddy read. It's more like a novella. I buddy read this with Malinda at a Web of Stories, and it was really good. That's not a question. It was really good, but it was really interesting. It's like I felt like it was religious horror, and Elizabeth Gaskell did a really nice job at getting the elements of like the witch trials, the Salem witch trials on, like just right. Like it was the feeling, like just the persecution, the suspense, the dread of like, of course they're gonna go after a woman, for for saying this thing, or like saying that she was a witch, that somebody had told her she was a witch or she'd be a witch, and women who are First Nations or Indigenous people and are healers and have these practices, spiritual kinds of practices. Malinda and I had a really good discussion about the way that Native Americans and First Nations people were portrayed by Elizabeth Gaskell. I think it's very common for writers of that time period to portray the Indigenous of First Nations people as like non-human. So you either, I remember when I was younger and like even just reading like history, like nonfiction, unfortunately, writers of maybe that time would see them as either non-human, like in a very negative way, talking about First Nations and Indigenous people as savages, or like just really making them to be more like I don't even want to like, it's just making them not be human in like a derogatory way, or you had them be like exoticized and like given like these personified to be like wizards or magicians, or um, just like occult kind of like spiritual icons, and so like fantastical beings almost, like it's just weird. But it happens. I wasn't surprised by it. I was just kind of like, yeah, a lot of people would do that. So it was good. I liked it. I liked the story overall. I would read anything else by Elizabeth Gaskell. This was the second Elizabeth Gaskell I read. So I'm keen to read more by Elizabeth Gaskell. I like the writing. I like the story. It reminded me initially of The Witch of Blackbird Pond. That The Witch of Blackbird Pond is one of my all-time favorite books, and so I do think that Kit is a much more endearing, and it's more of a protagonist that I root for than Lois. Lois was not as strong of a protagonist as Kit in The Witch of Blackbird Pond. So for me, like in terms of protagonist, I would favor Kit from The Witch of Blackbird Pond to Lois. But still, I did enjoy the book, and yeah, it reminded me a lot of, I think the discussion that I had with Malinda reminded me a lot of my own family history. I have Native American, American Indian ancestry from like the northern Mexican region, or like the Mexican region, like in modern day northern Mexico. But just to know that I have that kind of ancestry has been really really special to me, and learning a lot, like it's made me appreciate what I learned as a child from my grandmother, particularly, who was just kind of a natural healer, and she had a lot of like remedies. She knew herbs and ways to cure, and like she's very much a woman of the natural world and of the land, and I really feel proud of that ancestry and that upbringing, and I hold that very dear and special. So I read Lois the Witch. I read the book club book, but I'm not going to tell you what I read. I'm just going to wait until October and then talk about it then. And I also read or listened to the audiobook. So last time I did this, I drew 4 books that I was going to try to read for Shorty September. One was an audiobook, one was an ebook, one was a physical book, and the other one was from the 1000 Books to Read Before You Die list. So I listened to the audiobook. It was a short story, My Evil Mother by Margaret Atwood. And that was really good. I really liked My Evil Mother by Margaret Atwood. I'm just thinking, My Evil Mother by Margaret Atwood pairs very well with the poem I just read for Poetry Thursday. The very end of my Poetry Thursday episode that I just recorded this last Thursday, the last poem I read was in Spanish, and it was the first time reading that poem. And as I was reading it, I was like, oh my God. And I felt like there was so much I wanted to say. I'm going to have to come back to that poem and talk more about it, because I was processing it and I was like, I can't translate this off the cuff. Like, I feel like I need to spend more time to actually do it justice. So I'm probably going to do a callback to that poem and do a translation for it, and then pair it with other books that immediately came to mind. Like, well, I won't tell you. I'll just wait to record the video. But I had another book in mind that was like, oh my God, this poem would be perfect for this protagonist. And also for pairs well with My Evil Mother. So yeah, I'm still thinking about that poem, and I'm so sorry. I did feel bad ending the video with that poem in Spanish and not talking more about it, but in my head I was like, there were so many thoughts going through my head. I didn't want to prolong the video, so I kept it short. And so I'm going to end that discussion here for time's sake as well. And currently reading. I'm still reading Blackwater Sister by Zen Chol. I hope to finish that by Tuesday. I'm almost done with Franny and Zooey by J.D. Salinger. It's such a tiny book, but I've really been taking my time with it. I kind of read like a couple of pages a day. Well, not every day. Like, I pick it up and I read a couple of pages here and there. But I've been taking my time with Franny and Zooey, and I'm not feeling bad about it at all. I am still reading, well, I'm reading The Deep. I started it. I haven't finished it. I haven't DNF'd it. I'm going to come back to it, but I've had to put a pause in some of these books that I've been reading because I've been reading for the BookTube prize, and I'm trying to finish. I'll be done hopefully by, well, I have to be done by Tuesday because that's when my vote has to be cast, but I'm almost done with BookTube prize reading, and once I'm done, then I'm done and I can get back to some of these other books that I started. Tears of the Truffle Pig. I started that one for the week of Weird. I haven't finished it. Again, BookTube prize, and I read the wrong book for book club and left everything that I'd started. I let it go to read the wrong book. I started the book that I drew from that my little tin last week in review video was I'm Still Here by Austin Channing Brown. I just started it this weekend, so hopefully I'll get to it. I'll get to finish it soon. And I'm still reading The Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Malinda Lo. I put a pause in it as well. I was reading that at the end of August, or like for August. I kind of picked it up a little late. I'm still reading it on my Kindle, and I hope to finish it. I'm wishing I had an audiobook because then that would go faster, but we'll see. And speaking of audiobooks, I finally got The Hunger Games from my library. I put it on hold right as August was starting because I wanted to read it for August. Well, I don't know like how far along in the holds list, so it didn't come until September. It came at the wrong time as I had to like prioritize the book club book, right? That was the wrong book. So I started The Hunger Games. I didn't finish it. I lost it, and there's a long line of holds, so it had to be sent back. And then I got back on the waiting list, so now I'm just waiting for it to come back. So that is my DNF, but it's my DNF for now until I get it back from the library. And now on to community. What's going on? What are some things that are happening? in terms of booktube community. The Pinedo Project. We read The Angel of History by Rabih Alammedine, and we've already finished discussing it. Now we're talking about what we're reading next. So looking forward to really anything that my friends in the Pinedo Project want to read, y'all, I will read with you. I love this group of friends. I think that they are so smart and incredible, and I learned so much from each and every one in that cohort. And I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm not as well read as everybody else. Everybody in this group is so well read and so bright. And I always feel like I'm a little bit behind in terms of knowledge and like what I've read. And so I'm always feeling like I'm kind of catching up. But I like being among them. I like learning from them. And I think they make me a better reader and a better thinker. So I will read whatever they want to read. I'll read with them. And I mentioned Malinda at Web of Stories. We read Lois the Witch, and that was a lot of fun to do. I always enjoy buddy reading with Malinda. She's really fun to read with and be in book club with. So looking forward to many more buddy reads with Malinda. I am still reading for Shorty September. I'm not having as productive Shorty September reading month as I would have liked, but I'm still plugging along. And the Week of Weird, that's always a really fun event. Thank you to Crystal and Jason for hosting that. It's always a lot of fun. Everybody in that Discord is so nice, and I really enjoy popping in from time to time. Sometimes, like this year, I missed the March Week of Weird. I tried, and I don't think I really did much with that. But March was a difficult month for me, so I'm kind of just and mentioned the BookTube prize. It's almost done, and I'm so excited because there's a book that I need to talk about, but I can't. There's a video I want to make and a book I need to talk about, but I can't until this BookTube prize thing is done. And Death by TBR, that's a book club, and Kelly Hooked on Books is the organizer. And I joined, I learned about this through Crystal at Fiber Artsy. I joined their Discord. I really want to read Swamplandia by Karen Russell. There are a couple of days left in this month, and I was just about to get started with it this week, and then I didn't, and I really want to. I think I'm just going to get the audiobook and hope that I can squeeze it in at the very last minute. But if not, I think I'm just going to push it through to October, and I might just be late to getting it read. But it was my one opportunity to read this with a group of people because I've had this book on my TBR for years. I have a physical copy of this book, and I've been wanting to read it, and I thought, like, this is Kismet. They're reading this book that I really want to read and I've had on my shelves. So I don't want to miss out. I don't want to delay the reading anymore. So I really want to get to it. And what else? The Bard Room. Ugh. As You Like It. I really want to read this play, and I haven't yet. But September has been the month of not yet, or just not getting around to, unfortunately. Okay, so now what am I looking forward to? I am looking forward to a lot. Okay. I'm looking forward to reading, but kind of like almost rereading. A while back, I started the audiobook for Project Hail Mary, and I started it with my husband. We were on a road trip. We didn't finish it. And then he never wanted to get back into it. I don't think he likes audiobooks. He's a big sci-fi reader. So he technically should have liked it, but I don't think he does audiobooks. I think he prefers reading on the page. So he wasn't getting into the audiobook. And we didn't get to finish it because every time I would try to like play it again, he would be like, no, like I'd rather listen to music. So he'd put music on instead of the audiobook. So then I just felt bad finishing it on my own because I kept hoping that he would want to come back to it, but he hasn't, and it's been years. And then I heard Pat talk about it, and I was like, you know what? It's unfinished. Like I ended up DNFing it because I was just waiting. And so when Pat said she was reading it, and then I ended up joining Pat and Ellen and Lecton, and we are going to group read Project Hail Mary. So I'm going to start it all over again. I was almost done with it, but I'm going to just kind of go back to the beginning, restart the audiobook, and finally finish Project Hail Mary. I've been wanting so much to finish this book because I was really enjoying it. So I'm really excited about that. Okay, I'm also really excited about Cozyween. I love Cozyween. Cozyween is an October event hosted by my friend Evita at Evita Lecturitas. Consider her a friend. I absolutely love her. I love her channel. I just love this event, and we're not friends in real life. I've never had a conversation with Evita, but I think that if we were to meet in real life, we'd be friends. And so I just love this event, and I love her channel. So Cozyween, it's a lot of fun. This year, I think it feels like she simplified it. The prompts are basically to get to 10. So it's perfect because October is the 10th month of the year. So I feel like that makes so much sense. And so she has a point system. So she's given a point for every like premise or theme. I'll just read through. Let me see if I can get to her video. I will link her channel, her video in the description box, but I'll just read to you the prompts. Okay, so these are the premises or the prompts, like basically like the book premises for points. So your goal is to get to 10 points, and it's super easy because just with the way the point system works, you could essentially read maybe 2 books and that's it, and you'd be done for Cozyween. Okay, so a thriller is 2 points. A book with vampires in it is 2 points. A book with magic or a curse is 3 points. A romance with vampires is 4 points. A book about ghosts or with ghosts is 5 points. A horror book that will keep you awake is 5 points. A book with romance and witches is 6 points. A book with evil witches is 6 points. A haunted house is 6 points. Possessions are 7 points. Zombies are 7 points. Werewolves are 7 points. Monsters and romance is 7 points. Set in autumn and featuring pumpkins is 7 points. A book with a murderous woman is 8 points. A book set on Halloween is 8 points. A book that features a Halloween party is 8 points. A cozy autumn mystery is 8 points. Fear of the dark, bad things happen when there's no light is 8 points. Evil dolls is 8 points. Criminal marriages is 8 points. And that one's so intriguing, criminal marriages. I have a nonfiction book in mind for that, but that one would be really interesting to find a fiction book for. So anyway, you see how easy it'd be to get to 10 points. So I thought what I do for this part of the video is I want to share my Cozyween pile possibilities. Not a TBR because obviously like there's so many books and I'm not going to read all of them. But okay, I'm going to go through my physical books first. I'm going to put my notes aside. So one book that I would recommend that I read for August that I really thought was a really fun book to read is We Shall Be Monsters by Tara Sim. And the little blurb here says, horror is not the monsters you face, but the ones you create. So this is a book about, like, right now, demon hunters is kind of a thing. So if you like demon hunters, this is a book about demon hunters, essentially. So there's possession, there is Indian folklore, there are monsters, there's horror, um, there's magic, there's curses. So this can be like a lot of these different prompts. Yeah, there's a murderous woman. Yes, there's a murderous woman here. Okay, and then these next are books that I started and didn't finish. Not because I don't care, but because I ran out of time. Like maybe I started them for a reading event and I didn't get to finish. Just like my thing here on BookTube, and out of BookTube, it's always my thing. So I started this one last year. I didn't get to finish it. I want to get back to it. That's my next one in the Tita Rosie Kitchen Mystery series that I really enjoy by Mia P. Manansala. This is book 5, I think. It's 5. Guilt and Ginataan. And I started it. You see it's right here. I left off. I really want to finish it because I love Mia P. Manansala. I like Tita Rosie. I like the family in this one. I like the friends. I just love, love, love the characters. I think that they are really great. And I've said this over and over and over again. I've tried the recipes in the back. They're legitimately good. So I'm so curious to see the recipes and try them. I think I had kind of perused them a bit, and I thought there were a couple here that I thought were really good. Well, really interesting. So the first one that I thought was really, really good that I want to try is Miss Torres Elena's Mom Atole de Elote. So I really want to try that recipe. And Lola Flores Ginataan Mice. I want to try that one too. So anyway, this is a book I want to come back to. And then also this one, I started it last year for the silent reading party that I'm hosting again at my friend's bookstore this month in October. And I started it for that event and I didn't finish it, but I want to pick it up again. And this is a middle grade book, Los Monstruos, Felice, and the Wailing Woman by Diana Lopez. This is basically kind of like inspired by or a retelling of La Llorona. So I'm all for like La Llorona. I have done some reading recently about La Llorona that I can't talk about yet, but I will in the future. So I think that this is my next. Like I've been thinking about this book and I've been wanting it to be October so I can dive back into it. I want to finish this book. And then this one, Beowulf. So I didn't mention this, but okay, so this is La Llorona. This is a book about, it fits the premise for ghosts. It fits the premise for a murderous woman. I think a curse. Monsters. There's monsters in here. Yeah, curses, witch. Yeah, fits a couple of prompts. And Beowulf. This is the new translation by Maria Dahvana Headley. I want to get back into it. I was also taking my time, like seriously. I have a little pen in it, and I like underline, like annotating this book to death. So I want to finish it, but it's taking me so long because I'm annotating it. But I really want to get back to it. Okay, those are the books that I started. I want to finish. Now these are new books. Some of them are books that I've acquired in the span of the year, And some of them are books that I've had for a little while. So this is a new release by Mia Manansala. It's Death in the Cards, and this is her first YA book. I purchased this book this summer. So I really want to read. I love Mia Manansala, as I've mentioned. This is her first YA, so I'm really interested a little bit about it, just to kind of figure out the premises here. It's Danica Dizon is a natural problem solver thanks to her private investigator mom and mystery author dad. She's well equipped with the skills to offer guidance to anxious classmates who come to her for tarot readings between classes for a price, of course. But one of her clients isn't just worried about finals, something or someone has her terrified. And when the girl vanishes after an ominous reading, her younger sister Gabby begs for Danica's help to find her. Danica takes the case to prove to her parents that she's an ace detective. So this is like good for even a cult detective for October if you're doing that. I think so. This is a darker mystery, a missing girl. I think this might be cozy because Mia P. Manansala's thing is cozy. So I'm guessing there might be a cozy mystery element to it. I also think that there's probably ghosts. So this is one about ghosts. I don't know. I love the cover. I think it might be really fun to read. This one I'm probably gonna read from. I think I'm gonna let myself count short stories for this, and that's gonna make it all the much easier. But I'm okay with that. This is horror stories. The black girl survives in this one, and the contributors to this anthology are Camara Aaron E. Adams, Monica Brashears, Charlotte Nicole Davis, Desiree S. Evans, Saricea J. Fennell, Zakiya Dalila Harris, Daka Herman, Justina Ireland, L. L. McKinney, Brittany Morris, Maika and Maritza Mulite, Courtney Nash, Eden Royce, and Vincent Tirado. The foreword by Tananarive Dew, finally. Okay, P. Jelly Clark blurbed this, and it says, creepy spacesuits, revolutionary werewolves, dance parties you should not have in a cemetery, and Fox Hunt's gone very wrong. This book serves up 15 different flavors of horror in fresh, spine-tingling, frightful tales. But the best part, no matter how harrowing and creepy, through her own genius, wit, the ancestors' proper moisturizer, and a whole lot of nope, the black girl survives in this one each and every time, and I'm here for it. So, okay, that one about creepy spacesuits is the one that intrigues me the most. But there's one about revolutionary werewolves, and that would meet the werewolf prompt for 7 points. I'm pretty sure that there's monsters and romance in here. I wouldn't be surprised. So I think that there's a lot in here that could count for some of those prompts, and I'm really excited about this little collection. Okay, and then these couple of books, they're by one of my all-time favorite authors. Like, this author is an auto-buy author for me. I discovered Hannah Alkaf just in the last couple of years when I read The Girl and the Ghost, and I'd also recommend The Girl and the Ghost by Hannah Alkaf. That one is a middle grade, I would say middle grade, maybe young YA book about possessions, about evil women. Well, a magic or a curse. Okay, so that's The Girl and the Ghost. It's on my shelves. I don't have it here, but I have these two books that I recently purchased. I got these books this summer. I'll show you. This one is The Grim War of Grey Fates by Hannah Alkaf and Margaret Owen. Again, Hannah Alkaf is auto-buy, so I saw these books and I don't have them, and I was like, yes, I need these. These are 18 young sorcerers whose stories were written by 18 different authors, raced to find a killer within the walls of their esteemed magical academy. You've never seen a murder mystery like this, so this is a mystery. I would say probably a cozy mystery. And let's see what the back says. Professor of Magical History Septimus Dropwort has just been murdered, and everyone at the Galileo Academy for the Extraordinary is a suspect. A prestigious school for magically gifted teenagers, the Galileo Academy has recently reinvented itself as a place where students of all cultures and identities are celebrated, but some people weren't happy with the changes, including everyone's least favorite professor, Dropwort. So when his body is discovered on school grounds under mysterious circumstances, it seems like practically all of the Academy students have a motive for the murder. And if they don't solve it themselves, they'll become the top suspects. Told from 18 different perspectives, the grimoire of grave fates follows Galileo's best and brightest as they set out to discover the truth behind Dropwort's mystifying death before the time runs out for all of them. So each perspective is written by a different author, which is the thing that really captivated me about this. So it's kind of like a short story collection, but it's all about, like, they're all interconnected. So it's super cool. And the stories are written by Preeti Chibber, Katcho, Mason Deaver, Natasha Diaz, Hafsa Faisal, Victoria Lee, Jessica Lewis, Darcy Little Badger, Kwame Imbalia, L. McKinney, Taylor K. Mejia, Yamile Sayed Mendes, Cam Montgomery, Marieke Nijkamp, Karuna Rizai, Randy Ribe, Kayla Whaley, and Julian Winters. So I named just a few of the authors, YA authors I really enjoy reading. So yeah, this might be one that fits the Cozyween prompts. And then again by Hannah Alcaf, The Historical Girls of St. Bernadette's. It says the scream is not a pretty, perfectly pitched horror movie scream. It's a hoarse and low. It shakes and skips as if whatever is causing it is forcibly strangling it out of the screamer, shaking it out of them in fits and starts. For 100 years, girls have fought to attend St. Bernadette's. Unfortunately, there is also the screaming. It begins with one girl, then another, setting off a chain reaction that impacts the entire school along with its stellar reputation. Okay, I don't want to read too much, but I think this might have a monster, and I might even say it's haunted. It might be a haunted house. I'm guessing. It sounds like a thriller, like a YA thriller. Girls in a private school. I think this sounds really good. Good. It sounds like YA dark academia, and I am here for it. Okay, this next book is really special to me. I have been wanting this book for the longest time. It's been on my TBR. It's been one that I've been like so anxiously awaiting to read, and it's also a gift. This book is special to me because it was gifted by my friend Kat at the channel Curious Cat for my birthday this year, and I think Cozyween might be a good time to read it. Signal to Noise by Silvia Moreno Garcia. The back of this says it's set in Mexico City, 1988. I love the 80s. I have a feeling this is going to be very like nostalgic of like the 80s. It says, long before iTunes or MP3s, you said I love you with a mixtape. Yes. I am guilty of creating a mixtape for a crush, for friends. I received mixtapes from friends and admirers, and I love it. Like, I love it so much. Yes to a mixtape. And that's why I did that mixtape for Amalia as a tag when I first started my booktube channel. I just love a mixtape. Anyway, so Meche, awkward and 15, discovers how to cast spells using music, and with her friends Sebastian and Daniela will piece together their broken families and even find love. 2 decades after abandoning the metropolis, Meche returns for her estranged father's funeral, reviving memories from her childhood she thought she buried a long time ago. What really happened back then? Is there any magic left? So this is a book about magic, and it's fantasy, but I think it fits Cozyween. There might be ghosts. And for sure magic. A book with magic or a curse. I think this counts for that. Fear of the dark. Bad things happen when there's no light. I think this might also fit that because there's candles. This also feels kind of like dark academia to me. Okay, and then this book. I really want to read this book. Like, I'm going to say this about every book that I'm talking about. I really want to read this book. Something Wicked, This Way Comes. This is the second book in that kind of trilogy. I know they're kind of standalones too, but Dandelion Wine is my all-time favorite Ray Bradbury. This is the next book in that trilogy, and I really want to read Something Wicked This Way Comes. I think this might be a really great fit for Cozyween. Scary and suspenseful. Dark poetry, mystery, carnival, Halloween. Okay, so it's in Halloween a week early. So this is around Halloween. The stuff of nightmares. I'm just kind of picking things out. I think this might fit the one for a book that features a Halloween or set on Halloween. This one might be a good one for that. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I think this one might be one of the classics that Malinda is reading, and if it is, then I'll be joining her classics catch-up. Or is it Zooey? Somebody, I think either Malinda or Zooey might be reading this as a classic, their classic catch-up thing. And whoever it is that is doing this, please let me know. I will join you. I have the book. I've been wanting to read it, and so this is a haunted house. So it fits that Cozyween prompt. And this one here, Shady Hollow, a murder mystery by Juno Black. This is cozy. This is a cozy autumn mystery. I've talked about this one before. There's woodland creatures. A curmudgeonly toad turns up dead, and a local reporter has to solve the case. And there are animals in clothing, and that is all that I need. And this feels just like all the cozy autumnal vibes in this one little book. Okay, then I have the digital books that I have that I want to read. So the digital books that I am considering are, well, The Halloween Tree is one that I read every year. So The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury, I'm probably going to reread that one. Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. This one I haven't read and I really want to, especially after Farah from Bookstalgic talked about it last year, I think. I put it on my radar and I thought I wanted to try to read that this year. The Vampire's Knitting Club by Nancy Warren. This one was actually put on my radar by Evita at Evita Lecturitas a couple of years ago. She talked about this one and I really want to read it. I have it on my Kindle. When Evita talked about it, I got it on Kindle. So I have that one. And then, of course, okay, the Books and Bocadillos book club pick for October is Lee Castro's Queen of the Cicadas. And so that is another book that I will be reading in October, and I'm probably going to count that for a Cozyween prompt. And yeah, join me for reading The Queen of the Cicadas by Lee Castro. And that's Cozyween. Okay, in the fall, I'm going to be reading, it's already fall, but so in this season, from now until the end of the fall season, I'm going to be reading what I'm calling Fall and Friends, a reading catch-up project. So there are three booktube friends, who have recommended books to me, and I am going to be reading those three booktubers' recommendations, specifically recommended for me, like called out in a whole video thing, kind of thing. So earlier this year, our favorite middle grade recommender, Dr. Cranky Pants, he did a whole thing where he recommended books to booktubers, and I was just so honored to be included. And he recommended Kitchens of the Great Midwest. It's on my shelves. It's over there. I don't have it in front of me to show, but I have Kitchens of the Great Midwest on queue to read this fall because Dr. Cranky Pants recommended it. So of course I have to read it. And then I have this one here. The Townsend Family Recipe for Disaster by Shauna Robinson. This book was recommended to me by my friend Ellen at Ellen Made Book Club. Earlier this year, Ellen created a tag video in which she tagged some friends and recommended books to us. And I haven't responded because I really want to read this book. So it's been a few months. She recommended 3 different books. So this is the first one. Well, no, the other one I had already read. She had recommended it, and I think I read it just before she posted the video, and maybe I hadn't talked about it. It was the Nancy Peach book. There's 2 Nancy Peach books that she recommended. So it was Hot Mother and Mother of All Problems. I think I read Mother of All Problems. I haven't read Hot Mother, but I would like to. But I ended up going with this one from the 3 that she recommended. And I will report back, Ellen. So thank you for reading it. I think this is a perfect book to read for the fall. The fall is like, in the United States, we do Thanksgiving. There's a lot of feasting and family and food. And I think that this feels like timely for me right now. And then okay, so this is going to be an audiobook. Malinda Atwood Stories a while back, she did like a whole TV, like drew names out of a tin or a jar and then recommended books to her booktube friends. So I was drawn in that video, and she recommended Aquake and Messie's You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty to me. And I think she's pitched it to me a couple of times as a book that I would really enjoy, and I believe her because I think Malinda knows me pretty well, and I think she would probably know what to recommend to me. We've read enough together that I trust her like recommendations, specifically like towards my interests. So I am hoping to get that one. So those 3 books over the whole fall. I might do one in October and one in November, one in December. So stay tuned and I'll provide updates. I'm probably going to, I would like to learn how to make a vlog. That'd be really nice to do a vlog across the season and then share it. We'll see. I'll let you know. I'll report back to my friends to see how I got on with those recommendations. I think I'm going to love them. I think that they're all brilliant recommendations. And then I mentioned Books and Bocadillos, Queen of the Cicadas by V. Castro. And I usually talk about podcasts. I don't really have a podcast. I unfortunately been listening to a lot of political podcasts. I don't really want to talk about any of that on here today. And the recipe that I want to share is vegan fresas con crema. So fresas con crema, strawberries and cream. I made for Supper Club dessert last weekend, and it's basically fresh strawberries, coconut Cool Whip, and condensed milk, coconut condensed milk, and some like just drops of vanilla, natural vanilla extract, and mixed all together, and it's so delicious. I can list the ingredients. I didn't really follow a recipe. I just kind of, like mix things in out of like just how they looked. But those 4 ingredients and just, mix in to see how how creamy you want your strawberries to be. I'll try to do a short ingredients list and basic instructions. But try it out. It's so good and it's refreshing. So if you're in a place that's hot like I am, that might be just a really nice treat on evening or weekend afternoon, Saturday, Sunday afternoon. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you again soon. Hasta la próxima.